Izzy, what happened with the camera angle? Why are things different? Listen, don't worry about it. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy. This is the I'm gonna fucking knock this shit. I'm certain of it. I'm gonna fuck this up. Me. Son of a bitch. Last night, we had the Oscars. I never watched the Oscars. I could not care less. I mean, obviously I care a little bit because I'm making a fucking video about it, but I don't watch the Oscars. And there's 3 reasons why I don't watch the Oscars. 1. An industry awarding itself is kind of a boring exercise in self-indulgence. Look, there's something there's something inherently boring about seeing an industry congratulating the industry itself. The members of the Academy are people who work in the motion pictures industry, and of course there's gonna be favoritisms, there's gonna be people awarding their buddies and shit like that, and the self-indulgence is present at every step of this process. I mean, how could it not be? They're giving each other golden statues. This is reflected even on the speech that some of the winners give. Viola Davis, and I'm assuming that's how I pronounce her name, as part of her accepting speech last night, she said, and normally I'd put a little video here with the person saying what they said, but you know what? For the time being, let's lay low on the whole using people's video in this channel thing. She said, "I became an artist, and thank God I did. Because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life." I didn't watch the Oscars, so I have to assume she was holding the statue with one hand and vigorously pleasuring herself with the other. This is some fucking, that is some fucking arrogant shit. So yeah, the whole thing just seems really like, hey, look at us, we're giving each other awards because we're so awesome. I don't care for that. And you know what? Before you say, but Izzy, every award ceremony is the same way. The video game awards, it's the video game industry awarding itself. I also don't watch that shit. The Grammys, the Tony Awards, the whatever, Golden Globes. The Golden Globes, fuck the Golden Globes. It's boring. If the Oscars at least had community votes, would it be hilarious? Yes. Would movies like Battlefield Earth get 20 Oscars? Absolutely. How fucking funny would that be? You cannot tell me this would not improve the ceremony. I mentioned Fences, the movie that Viola Davis won. Is it Viola or Viola, by the way? Let me know. Call me an idiot in the comments like you guys usually do. The number 2 reason I don't watch the Oscars is because I just flat out don't go to the theater to watch those types of movies. Call me a filthy casual, but I'm the kind of moviegoer that goes for the spectacle. I want to see some shit blowing up. I want to see superheroes punching each other in the jaw. I just want to see shit happening. I'm like a child. I want to see, I have nothing to dangle here in front of me, my watch. I want to see shit being dangled in front of me. You know why? Because my life is already stressful and boring enough. I don't want to go see drama in the theater. There's drama happening everywhere. I don't want any of that shit. My deal is escapism. And I'm not saying that I don't watch these movies. There's a time and place, I feel, for more serious, thought-provoking movies. And of course, the big summer tentpoles can be thought-provoking as well. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I guess actually that's exactly what I'm saying. I go to the movies to see cars turning into robots and shit exploding. Yes, I know I'm part of the problem. Even though, to be completely honest here, I only saw the first 2 Transformer films in theaters, but I do acknowledge that this kind of movie-going behavior, only going to see the blockbusters, this is the result that this creates. Also, further films, what the fuck? When I want to ponder about life and more serious issues, I watch a movie at home when I'm more relaxed, I'm ready to think. When I go to the theater and I have to pay for parking, and I pay for the ticket, and I pay for the popcorn, I'm already fucking angry, okay? I just want to get away from life for just those 2 hours. That's all I want. And movies about racism and sexism and the oppression that happens in the serious fucking family drama, that shit just stresses me out. That's not what I'm in the mood for when I go to the theater. Next, this one is not so much the fault of the Oscars. This is something that people do. The show itself is not doing this. But it all coagulates into why watching the Oscars, to me, I would rather do anything else. Whether they make the show political or apolitical, people will bitch about the decision, and I'm not having any of that shit. Here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing that's going on with this world, okay? Politics are important, of course, but you don't need to have that shit in everything! You don't need to have that shit in everything. In fact, it's perfectly fine to just forget about politics for just 1 second. That shit that is tearing the world apart and putting friend against friend, family against family. Listen to this, listen to me. No one's mind is changed when entertainers are political. All that happens is that the people who agree with that point of view feel vindicated, and the people who don't feel alienated. And that's yet another reason to have those two people fucking go at each other on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else where people converge and fucking yell at one another. I'm done with this shit. I'm just done with this shit. It feels like everywhere I look, people are arguing on the merits of this ideology or this policy or whatever the fuck. Can we just chill with that for like half a second to see who the fuck won best whatever? What are the categories? Can we just chill with that for just like for this one night? Does it have to be political? I saw a bunch of opinion pieces on the internet about, yes, it has to be political. Every facet of our being needs to be made miserable by this divide, by this constant fighting about the shit. I think it ties to the self-indulgence thing. When that dude from Stranger Things, the show got some award, and he went on to do his speech, and he's like, this is the most diverse cast, and blah, 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 and whatever else that he said. I just watched like brief snippets of it. Again, I feel like he's just preaching to the choir and not really changing anyone's minds, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. See, I'm working on the assumption that people don't put that much stock in what celebrities say. Maybe I'm wrong. But overall, I just think that it should be okay to have the one. We don't have to be like messages, political, ideological messages. Don't have to be hammered on to everyone at all times, because that shit gets boring, even when it's shit that I agree with. That's the thing I want to make clear here. I'm not just saying this because I heard some shit that I don't agree with and I'm like, ah, these guys shouldn't have a say on. No, it's even when it's things that I agree with. It just annoys me. Like I don't see that as like, oh yes, they're furthering that agenda that I'm a part of. No, it's just like, can I fucking watch this movie? Can I fucking watch this thing? I'll give you an example, okay? I love beans. Beans are great. They're a good source of something. I want to say iron, right? Iron? Let's see. Beans. I misspelled beans. Is a common name for da-da-da-da. I'm just gonna go Control F, iron. Boom! Beans are also high in protein, iron. So beans, minimize that. Lots of iron in that shit. That shit is good for you, right? It's great. Nobody would argue otherwise. You need that. That's important. However, I'm not gonna put beans in my fucking ice cream. You know why? Because I'm in the mood for ice cream. No matter how much you say that, but Izzy, protein is important. All I'll say is, bitch, I don't want protein right now. I want my fucking ice cream. That's it. That's all this is about. I feel like when everything is political, they are pushing beans when I'm just trying to have a grilled cheese. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, this is why I personally don't care for the Oscars. Let me know. I have a feeling you guys are all about that shit. And then this is gonna be yet another video where I'm proven wrong because you guys have much more intelligent arguments to make for the Oscars, for industry rewarding itself, for politics and entertainment. That's fine. Just let me know. I want to learn. Maybe you have a great point. But that's everything for today. I'm Izzy, and I'm done. I want some ice cream now. Fuck! I should not go with food metaphors in the future.